So, you've been told that scaling your business means doing more content, more launches, more team management, more energy output. And it's worked to a point. Your clients love you, your programs are filled, your expertise is sought after. From the outside, you've made it. So, why does success feel so heavy? Why does every launch leave you feeling more depleted than the last? Why does every new level of growth seem to require more of your personal energy rather than less? Here's the uncomfortable truth. What builds your business doesn't have to be the thing that breaks you. The habits and the hustle that helped you grow, like being the one that has to carry it all, they aren't sustainable forever. And if you keep pushing through with the same energy, it's only a matter of time before burnout or resentment or sickness creeps in. Your next level needs a different way of operating, one that doesn't cost your well-being to keep succeeding. In a nutshell, your business has outgrown your current operating system, aka the identity that's held you so far. And you haven't built the structure that can hold your next level of impact without requiring to hold it all together yourself. This isn't about your capacity. It's actually about your identity and how you view yourself. When Denise Duffield-Thomas, creator of Money Bootcamp, came to me, she wasn't struggling. She was scaling into her next level income and impact. She's a seven-figure thought leader with a thriving community of hundreds of thousands of women. But behind the scenes, she was cracking under the weight of being the strong one for everyone else. She had nobody to lean on. And there was this creative genius that was just yearning to be expressed. And she wanted to launch into her most ambitious project ever, but it required taking resources, attention, energy away from other projects. And there was so many juggling balls. How was she going to be able to do it without feeling selfish, without really being able to back herself and back her current business? It was a really big thing for her to be able to launch this creative project without crippling the business, the thriving business she already had. And here's the thing, she was still carrying that outdated belief that her success had to come at the cost of something. Even though she teaches money mindset, these are the blocks that others can see for us because there are blind spots, we can't see everything ourselves. Now, instead of jumping straight into strategy, we just really got under the hood of her energy. So we cleared over responsibility from her nervous system. We mapped the emotional blocks in her business architecture and her team dynamics, and we restored joy as a non-negotiable, not a luxury that she sometimes afforded herself. Emerged was more than a profitable launch. It was a record-breaking $2 million side hustle, but it was a reclamation of all these intuitive nudges, these soul whispers that Denise was having, and didn't really feel like she had permission to listen to it or to go all in or to hold herself and everybody else through the ups and the downs and the waves. And she told me later, this wasn't just about a program. This was proof that I am a creative genius. When she took that proof and that evidence out into every area of her business, that was the thing that skyrocketed her into that next level of ease and harmony and flow in her business. She didn't have to blow up her business to find her joy. She built the container that let her joy lead. At a time when I was crumbling under the pressure of being strong for everyone else, Bianca became the one who held me, and the shift was really powerful and necessary. She reclaimed the joy of being a ballerina again. She took a sabbatical. She took more time off with her family to travel, and it was all made possible because she was able to stand in her power and say, I'm a creative genius and I can create whatever it is that I please. And this is why I bang on all the time about why energetic alignment must precede that strategic and structural support. It's just like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. If you're 1 degree off at the start, you can be 100 miles off down the road. So for me, as a former elite athlete, I was in Australia's top 1% of fittest and strongest women. And as a mother of triplets, I know firsthand that you can't scale your output if you're misaligned with your energy. And there is no spreadsheet strategy or tactical override that compensates from that deep, bone deep, soul level depletion of joy. That's why I created the sales magnet methodology and the soulful scaling framework. It's designed especially for high achieving women who've hit the ceiling of what hustle alone can create. And this isn't about adding more tactics to an already overflowing plate. It's about rewiring your relationship to capacity, to creativity, and letting go of control so that ease isn't something that you stumble into accidentally. It's what you stand in and create intentionally by design. So here's what growth currently looks like for most successful women. There's the hustle loop, where launch requires intense personal energy and focus. Success creates more demand on your time. Responsibility scales faster than your systems can. And then your recovery from burnout and depletion then eats into your momentum. And then you repeat again and again with diminishing returns each time. But what magnetic flow looks like is where you have a pre-sold ecosystem that attracts aligned clients who are already leaning in, your nervous system, which is calibrated to receive, energetic boundaries that protect your power, messaging that converts without you feeling like you have to perform to live into it or wear a mask so that nobody can see what's going on behind the scenes, and support structures that hold you at the level that you're holding others. Expansion feels like an exciting project rather than a threat to your survival safety system. So the difference isn't about your competence or your capability. It's the energetic foundation from which you are operating. So instead of always like clambering up and trying to gasp for air, you're leading out into the world with your Gandalf Stark saying, I am a creative genius. And when you go through and you move through the world like that, everything shifts and changes. And the success that you desire rises up to meet you instead of you having to chase it down and hustle yourself into exhaustion in order for it to appear. So if this has resonated with you so far, this is because you're at a threshold, not of effort, but your identity. You've proven your brilliance. Now it's time to build a container that honors it, one that lets your creativity flourish without blowing up the parts of your business that already work. Just imagine pre-sold programs, magnetizing clients before you even show up, nervous system that's repatterned to receive without contracting, energetic sovereignty so that you're not holding everybody else's baggage, and messaging that performs while you rest. This is where your systems scale your success without scaling your stress. And you can lead from this place of overflow, of generosity, of a cup that is overflowing, not a half empty one where you're trying to fulfill everybody else's needs first out of some misplaced sense of obligation. It's not about becoming somebody else. It's about finally scaling into the version of you that's already here, just waiting to be fully resourced with the gifts that are lining up for you. Here's your invitation to apply for your space in the Soulful Scaling Accelerator. This is for women who are ready to grow their revenue, their visibility, and their joy without growing their overwhelm. The Soulful Scaling Accelerator is not just a business program, it's a space where we calibrate your nervous system to hold more, clear the emotional blocks in your business architecture, recode your messaging into being a sales magnet, and reclaim that creative genius that got lost somewhere in all the responsibility. If you're tired of success feeling heavier than it should, if you're ready to stop waiting for conditions to be perfect before you get to thrive, then this is your next evolution, because your worth isn't something that you have to keep proving. So if you're keen to learn more, go to www.biancaa.com/blueprint and you'll be able to download the Soulful Scaling Method blueprint, because your worth isn't something that you have to keep proving. It's something that you are finally ready to start receiving. This is your next evolution. Ka kite, see you over there.